I'm Michelle Poremski.
And I'm Pastor Ron Ween.
And you're listening to 180 Your Life. You want to try that again? We can do it together. 180 Your Life. We are a health and wellness grief empowerment podcast. We want to help you empower your life in body, mind, and spirit after loss so that you can live a life you love. Because if you're still here on this planet after losing a loved one, there's a purpose for you. And we want to help you become your most strong, empowered self. We want you to not just survive, but thrive. So today we're talking about bringing a buddy in terms of exercising. We want to encourage you you can start small with baby steps towards exercising, but Pastor Ron Ween, you've got an awesome story to share. Folks may not know how old you are and your accomplishment in the last 14 months.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I am 64 years old. And I've run 2 half marathons in the last 13 months.
In the last 3 months.
In the last 3 months,
right.
Yes. So and the last one was just last weekend. So I was at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, and it was wonderful. Except that there were 3 hills that we did not count on. The first marathon or half marathon I ran was a flat space, so I was really enthused and pumped. I said, "Whoa, this was pretty good." And
I can do this.
Yes, I can do this.
I can do this.
And I ran it with Dr. Hennigan. And
oh yes, Dr. Bridget Hanahan, who is the editor of 180 Your Life.
Yes. So we ran it together, and we discussed all kinds of things there, and it took the pain away of just doing the steps and everything. And
of doing 13 miles, of running 13 miles.
Yeah, 13
It was
miles.
fun to have a conversation while you were doing it.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great conversation. We covered all kinds of topics, but that was wonderful because we could encourage each other and support each other when we would get tired or anything like that, and it was just wonderful to run in community. So I found a runner who is from my hometown in Dayton, Ohio, and he ran with me, and Alan and I ran together, and he had run this marathon before, and I did not know there were 3 hills. He says, "Oh, there's a couple of hills." Whoa, those hills! Oh my goodness! I said, "Are these the hills you're talking about?"
It's like a mountain.
Yeah, it looked like a mountain.
Oh no!
And what I discovered was every time I started looking large at the hills, the whole picture, I became overwhelmed, and my stride would go shorter. I would forget to breathe. I would
You were
tighten
freaking
up.
out.
Yeah, I was tightening up. I wasn't loose, and it would hurt more because in running you've got to breathe and run relaxed, and don't squeeze your muscles because they've got to be working. And what I discovered was when I just paid attention to the 10 to 15 feet in front of me to make sure I didn't hit a hole or some kind of a obstacle. If I just focused on that while I was going up the hill, pretty soon I made it up the hill. And we both did, because we were both saying, well, it's not going to be that long. It's not going to be long.
You're encouraging each other.
Yeah, encouraging each other. And so the commitment we made to run that race got me there. The commitment we had to run together and finish our line, crossing our finish lines together, got me to stay there in the race and complete it. And the celebration afterward was really relieving. I was so much relieved after those 3 hills. Man, I made it through, and we made it through decently and in order, and nobody was sick, which was great. That's my goal, is to run so that I'm feeling good afterwards.
So that you don't throw up.
Yes, that's what
that's what you're trying to say. So.
Yeah, I didn't know if we would say that.
That's
or not.
okay. That's okay. Well, we don't want you to do that either.
No.
And each person now, Pastor Ron, when you lost your wife, were you running half marathons?
Oh no. The tendency, I followed the pattern. Most people stop moving. I got real busy, but I got really busy sitting instead of moving. Yeah. And a long time ago, when I was training as a counselor, a physician said you cannot see people at their weakest and their worst and expect not to move. You've got to move in order to be able to think your way through this, because if you don't, you accumulate their stress and their
So as a counselor, you're saying you can't counsel people without exercising yourself so that you can process.
So I can
the grief.
process the grief, and also to keep my body from tightening up and having all the stress hormones operating negatively on this. So he said, "When was the last time you worked out?" I was coming to him with some pain, and I said, "Well, about 3 or 4 days ago." He says, "You can't do this work. You can't do this work. Minimally, you really need to move." And I don't mean sweat buckets, but you've got to move at least every other day. And you preferably should be at least walking every day after work to get rid of the stress that you've accumulated during the whole day. So I knew that in the back of my mind. I knew all that information, but her death.
Your wife's death?
Yeah, my wife's death, and she was sick, quite sick, 13 months before she died. I had stopped moving. And here I was trying to work, trying to take care of her in a very stressful situation and not moving. So I got very, very ill afterward. In fact, I ended up with a heart catheterization about 6 months afterward, and rediscovered that I had to start moving because
to get healthy
again. So I started moving, and then I read 180 Year Life, which talked about pairing physical recovery with mental and spiritual and emotional recovery, which was a holistic approach that I hadn't read before. I mean, I had pieces of the puzzle, but 180 Year Life put that puzzle together. And I started doing the things that the book suggested, organizing your life, getting movement, getting a team together so that you can make a commitment to do what you need to do to maintain your health. And so over the 13 months since reading the book, I've done that, and I lost 40 pounds, and I ran 2 half marathons. And it was all because I started moving again, which, you don't, with grief, you know what the truth is, but you really can't do it because you're so much in pain over the loss.
You need your team. We say team, train, triumph. You operate as a team working toward a common goal so that when you don't feel like it, you've got other people who encourage you. You train your body, mind, and spirit in healthy and wise choices, and you triumph by crossing a finish line and helping others on your same path.
And you need help to do that.
That's right. It's not designed to be done by yourself.
No.
It's designed to be done in community.
Yeah, and when you try to do it for me, when I tried to do it by myself, I got very, very, very busy, but I wasn't moving. And I was being very busy being a pastor. I was very busy being a full-time counselor. I was very busy teaching at 2 different universities, adjunct professor. And, I wrote a book.
Yes.
So I got busy, but I wasn't healthy. So one of my friends suggested to me, he says, busy is the only legal drug of choice you can take for grief. And unfortunately, people do that. I did it, and I paid some price for it.
Yeah.
So, but now I've regained my health, and I'm experiencing the joy of life again when I thought that would never happen.
That is awesome. I feel like that happens to me too with watching my dad become older. He lives with us, and grief sneaks up on you, and I didn't even realize that I do the same thing too. I don't really want to move. I don't want to make sure I'm eating healthier things because you just want the pain to go away.
Yes.
You want to deal with it as quickly as possible. But those aren't long-term solutions. And in fact, they can lead to an eating addiction or any other, television addiction, social media addiction, or any other host of, addictions, because you're looking for a way to alleviate the pain quickly, and that's not a long-term solution. The long-term solution is to be in community, to get healthy and strong in body, mind, and spirit, to set up goals and to attain them, and then to help other people on your same path. This takes your life, when you do those steps, it takes your life out of a downward spiral and it spirals your life upwards. We have 8 steps in 180 Your Life. Empower your ground zero. Forge your team. Train your body. Train your mind. Train your spirit. Cross your finish line. Live your legacy and unveil your triumph. And we're going to be exploring in this podcast over the next weeks and months how you can do that in practical ways. We're so excited that you've joined us, and we want you to tune in. This podcast is going to be a little bit shorter because I need to go get my girls from school. And we shoot 5 podcasts in a day, and then you'll see them the next week. So, if we don't change clothes, it's not because we're wearing the same clothes for 5 days. It's because we're shooting them in one day. Right? I do change. So we really want you to live your best life after loss. I remember what it was like as a widow and feeling so isolated and overwhelmed. And that's our whole purpose here as a widow and widower, that to help you know that there is hope, there is healing, and there is health after loss. And we want to continue joining us for these 180 Your Life podcasts. You can learn more at 180yourlife.com. That's 180yourlife.com. If you would like to support what we're doing, subscribe to our 180U course that has a host of videos: healthy eating, exercise, our 180 Your Life for Women course that is a year long. So we have two videos every month, and they're 20-minute videos that highlight experts in health, wellness, organization, financial organization, everything you need to know to live your best life after loss. Because we always feel that if you are here on this planet, God has a purpose for you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on 180 Your Life. God bless.